Class 8 Biology. Chapter 2 Reproduction in Plants and Animals. So let us see, students, what is this reproduction? Reproduction is one of the most important characteristics of life, as it maintains the continuity of life on Earth. The process by which living organisms produce new individuals of their kind is called reproduction. So for example, a mango plant is producing the mango plant only. The dogs and cats, they are producing the dogs and cats respectively. So reproduction means to produce again and again. So students, there is a warm-up activity. You can see this is the diagram of a flower, and from your knowledge of the content which you have studied in class 7, you can easily do these questions. So you need to do these questions with the pencil in your book only. Now let us see how an organism gets reproduced. So students, there are two modes of reproduction. One is called asexual reproduction, another one is called sexual reproduction. So first let us see what is this asexual reproduction. So in asexual reproduction, only a single parent is involved. So mind it, students, that only a single parent, means no male no female is required, but a single parent is required. We will see some more examples of this. Now there is no fusion of male and female reproductive cells called gametes. Since I have already stated that only single parent is required, so no male or female gamete is required. Since only one parent is involved, the offspring are exactly the same as the parent. Okay. Whereas in case of sexual reproduction, two parents, that is one male and another one female, are involved in reproduction. The male produces the male gametes called sperms, whereas the female produces the female gamete called eggs or ova. Okay. The offsprings are produced by the fusion of male and female gametes. So that is, when sperm fuses with the eggs, they are not exactly the same as either parent but have mixed features of both. So in case of sexual reproduction, whatever the offsprings are produced or whatever the next generation is produced, it has a mixed feature of both of its parents, that is mother and father, that is male and female. Whereas in case of asexual mode of reproduction, you know, the next generation is the exact copy of the parent. Now asexual reproduction in plants. So asexual reproduction in plants take place by fragmentation, spore formation, vegetative propagation. So first, fragmentation. Fragmentation is the method in which an organism breaks up into two or more parts called fragments. These fragments then grow into new individuals. It is very common in lower plants like Spirogyra, a filamentous alga. Under favorable conditions, alga also grow and multiply by fragmentation. So here in this diagram you can see this is the Spirogyra. So this was a single parent, okay, but later on, for example, in this diagram you can see that there was a cut here and it has been divided into two fragments. Two new fragments have been formed. Now each two new fragments, they will once again grow to become a single one individual. So here you can see this was a single parent cell or organism, and later on it got divided into two fragments. Now students, more fragments it can be divided, but in this diagram it has shown that the single one has been divided into two fragments. So two new individuals will get developed. Then spore formation. Some lower organisms like bread molds, it is a sort of fungi. Bread molds and ferns develop rounded or oval structures on their bodies called spore sacs. The cytoplasm inside the spore sac divides and forms many tiny microscopic unicellular spherical bodies called spores. They are released when the spore sac opens. They develop a thick wall around them which enables them to survive under harsh conditions. On getting favorable conditions, spores germinate into new individuals. So here in this diagram you can see that is figure 2.2. It is a bread piece, and this bread piece, if it is not fresh or if it is moist, the fungus will grow over it. You might have seen the greenish or the blackish one when a stale bread is there. So this fungus we can see under, in the same way we can see under the microscope. So basically this is the microscopic view of the fungus, and these are the hyphae. These structures are called the rhizoids or rhizoidal hyphae. These are also the hyphae, and above these a ball-like or bob-like structure you can see. Okay, and these are called the, inside these there are spores. Okay, so whenever this bob-like structure, which is called sporangia, it gets burst up, all the spores, they will be released into the air, and whenever they wherever they get the proper condition, proper nutrients, again they will develop in the same sort of structure. Okay, so here you can see only a single parent is enough to give rise to a colony of these hyphae. Then another one asexual mode of reproduction in plants, it is vegetative propagation. The development of a new plant from the vegetative part like root, stem or leaf of a plant is called vegetative propagation. It is common in plants which do not produce seeds. Okay, because you know students that seeds, whenever there is production of seeds, so seeds are the result of sexual mode of reproduction, but we are studying right now the asexual mode of reproduction with the example vegetative propagation. Okay, then it is a form of asexual reproduction as there is no involvement of reproductive structures. So in case of seed formation, we know pollen cells are required, egg cell is required, but in this case whatever they are stating, that root, stem or leaf is enough to give rise to a new plant. Now some other natural methods, let us see. In some plants, reproduction by vegetative propagation takes place naturally from different parts like stem, leaves and roots of the plant. So let us see some examples of asexual mode of reproduction in plants. So from underground stems of some plants like potato, ginger, gladiolus and onion have underground modified stems which help in vegetative propagation. So in potato the stem is called tuber. So students, the thing which you eat, that is called tuber. This thing, this is a potato. Okay, and this tuber has many small scars called eyes. You might have seen that potato having so many small here they have shown you the one which is germinating, but before that there were some structures called eyes. So vegetative buds are present in these eyes. On germination, the eyes give rise to new plants. So if you sow one potato in the soil, after some time you will see so many potatoes present over there, means formed over there. Now in ginger, the short branched underground stem called rhizome is used for reproduction. It has nodes and internodes that bear buds. Banana also grows from rhizomes. So in case of ginger, now they have shown you the germinated one, but these structures, those are called the rhizomes. The corm or thickened round underground stem of gladiolus is also used for vegetative propagation. Okay, so these plants, whenever they are grown, there is no male or female, means they are giving the new generation themselves alone. The bulb of onion and underground stem of garlic, lily and tulip are also used in the vegetative propagation. So here you can see this is a garlic, so it is a germinating one, and this structure of the garlic which we eat generally, it is called the bulb. Okay, some other plants, they grow from the aerial stems. So in plants like oxalis strawberry, a long horizontal stem grows over the soil surface parallel to the ground. It is called runner. Wherever the stem bends and touches the soil, it develops roots and buds at the point of contact with the soil. The buds develop into new plants. Lawn grass, that is common doob, in Hindi we say doob, and mint creep on the soil and develop long nodes and internodes. New shoots and roots arise from the nodes, producing new plants. So here in this figure 2.4 you can see, so the horizontal one, it is running, it is called runner. Okay, and at few places it will go inside, and from there the roots will develop. Okay, so we can see the plant going at this region, the plant growing at this region, the plant growing at this region. Then some other examples of plants are also there, like Bryophyllum and Begonia, who can develop from the leaves. Let us see. Like here in this figure 2.5, you can see this is a Bryophyllum leaf, and at the margins you can see a new plantlet is coming out. So whenever the leaf falls downside at the margins of this Bryophyllum leaf, new plant is arising, and it will develop into a new one. So out of the leaf it has been developed into a new plant. Then some other plants like sweet potato, dahlia, asparagus, vegetative reproduction, they grow with the vegetative reproduction, and it takes place by roots. These plants have swollen roots to store food along with adventitious buds. The buds give rise to new plants on getting detached. So here in this figure you can see figure 2.6. So this part, generally we eat this part, and this is the root part. Okay, and this root is that much swollen because it need to store the food. Okay, so from here also the new plants will get developed. So this is all for today, students. Goodbye.